And we are back. Thank you for joining us on See What Happens, the podcast where you can see what happens. Okay, with me, of course, is the lovely and talented Patricia Schneider, Patricia Maya. And how do people find you again?
You can find me on Instagram at I am Patricia Maya.
Beautiful. And I could find you.
You can find me every day here at the house.
At the house. And then what about Jamie Lisso? And what did you just find out about Jamie Lisso, our good friend, Jamie, partner in crime? What did you just find out about your name? I sent you that thing. What is that? One of our listeners.
Because remember I said I don't know anything about my heritage?
Yeah.
Amongst other things? Well, a listener sent over this thing that said...
What did it say?
It said... Lis equals Foxx.
In French, or what is it?
In proper English grammar for doubling the S. And then there's other words. It says Lisso in Polish, Lisov in Russian.
Lisov.
And then
I think you're Russian.
Then it says, so in other words, Jamie Lisso is Jamie Foxx, if properly translated into English. So I should be a lot more successful.
You should have like
Jamie Foxx?
You should have like your own shit going.
And I'm pretty sure this guy's right. He's a guy just from Twitter.
We should get off our coattails at this point, according to what that said. Okay, so anyway, I'm sorry that went down a path that didn't have any rewarding end to
what
it.
about your last name?
Schneider? Well, Schneider really means tailor in German. Schneiders there's like so many Schneiders you have no idea. Like, I know what I found out? The American Airlines frequent flyer program, 247 Robert Schneiders.
No way.
Oh, wow.
Not just Schneiders. Robert Schneiders.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's I feel sorry for all of them because I'm like the most famous of the Robert Schneiders.
Yeah.
And I'm not that Deuce Bigelow. Will you stop? I'm just a... No, but there's 247. That was a while ago, so there might be more. And then some of them actually could be less because it could be dead by now or have hung themselves at this point.
Jeez.
So, but anyway, I don't know.
There are not that many. I don't think there are that many.
Robert Schneiders?
Yes.
No.
I mean, 247?
I'm telling you, the
I don't
American...
know how much, like...
Well, I'm talking about on American Airlines.
That's just on
How many
American
people?
Airlines.
Oh,
though.
just American
Imagine
Airlines.
if you had Southwest. Or there's so many other airlines.
You're
Jamie,
right.
I don't know if
Okay.
you're shitting on me now or what with that comment.
No, I just meant that there's probably, if you had airlines...
I think there's something underneath that. Didn't you pick that up?
There wasn't. No, I just meant I was trying to go with an
Probably.
airline where there
I felt
weren't...
something.
Me too.
Did you? I didn't purposely convey
I love your
that.
hat, by the way. It looks good on you. Are you
Thank
getting
you.
comments on the hat?
I get so many
Jamie's
Oh,
wearing.
he's lying.
nice comments.
I know.
on
You're
that.
not getting comments.
Jamie,
I get comments all the time.
Jamie got this beautiful hat.
Just this morning.
Beltree, what's it called? The Beltree Belfree hat company.
I think it's Free from Rob Schneider. Free.
Oh
Belfree?
yeah, and it looks great on you. It looks good. It's
I
like
love
it's like a what do we call that style of hat?
I don't know.
I think you'd call it a cap. Wouldn't you call it like a golf or
Like
an Irish cap or something? It's very popular, but it's been around for a long time. But like, it's
Yeah,
you know,
what's that?
hats are coming back with men,
It's
especially
like-
so is baldness.
Exactly. Yeah.
What's that show you watch on Netflix where they all wear
That's the
these
one that I
hats?
was going to say. Peaky Blinders.
It's a Peaky Blinder
Oh, yeah,
cap.
it's just a Peaky Blinders hat.
I love this hat, though.
Oh, you do love the hat.
I get many, many compliments.
You
but
do?
Then
You
people
don't get 'em,
also...
do you?
I really do.
What do
And-
they say?
Well, a lot of people say, like, dude, you're stealing Rob Schneider's look. I get that a
That's
lot.
probably true. Yeah,
But I don't mind.
I know. Well, you know what? Okay. Well, Jamie looks good on you. Happy for you. Let's talk about one of the things we're going to talk about. What happened today that was really interesting.
Oh, we had a puppy.
A puppy came over, and the girls went. Miranda, 6, and Madeline, 2.
Yes.
They just lost their mind over this.
I
The
think
cutest
like
puppy.
when they saw the doggy, their brains exploded.
I know.
What kind of dog was it?
It was like maybe the cutest. You know when they mix dogs and sometimes they turn it
Yeah.
into like a rat killer or like a dog that climbs coconut trees or whatever. Well, this dog, or they turn it into like a whatever like
Like a teddy
pit bull.
bear.
Yeah, this dog is a half Maltese, half poodle. It's a Maltipoo, and it's the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life. Just look up Maltipoo. It's a sweet and super smart dog too, and fast and like just the sweetest dog. Isn't he the sweetest dog you ever seen?
Oh, yes.
Do you know what happened to me,
Cutest thing.
Patricia? So I came to your house several hours after the dog came to your house, and Rob said to your 2 daughters, "Hey, go answer the door. It might be the puppy again." And it was me at the door. And usually your kids are like kind of excited to see me.
Yeah,
They looked at me
like, Jamie.
like I was a piece of shit. Just like they both frowned and walked away, disappointed.
I wanted to make you feel at home.
Oh, Jesus.
No, Jamie, I'm sorry. I did set you
No,
up.
I gotta tell you.
No, it was good because they literally saw Jamie at the door and said, maybe it's the puppy again. So
You're such an a-hole.
So
Why would you say that?
The little girls ran to the door, hoping for their puppy to come back, the happiest thing in their life that they've ever seen.
Before you put your kids to bed tonight, I'm going to go, hey, Cinderella's coming up to say goodnight to you guys.
That's so mean.
And then Jamie opened the door. They opened the door. I had Miranda open the door, and they literally just turned away.
They
away.
both, like, their shoulders dropped.
Oh.
Like, their whole demeanor. They were just never been so disappointed that I wasn't a puppy.
Okay, we have a little kid here. Miranda, what is it, darling? What do you want?
She just want to have half of that.
Did you say she can have
cookie. I told her half. Yes.
Is that what happened? Is that what you walked away happily?
Yes.
So that was just like a way to get rid of her then? Is that what it is? Just to give her sugar?
Yes.
Walk
played.
away?
Well played.
No,
Sugar.
that's a really good cookie. Have you
No,
tried
I'm
those
going to
cookies?
tell you. No,
Those
wait a
are
minute.
vegan cookies and probably are the best cookies I ever had in my life.
Damn.
I got to say, I hate most vegan stuff. And this is not a commercial because we don't have commercials on our podcast.
Yes. And we're not vegans either.
Right.
But
Yeah,
those
that's our specialty
cookies-
about the podcast. No commercials. And we're not vegans.
Yes, but those
Okay.
cookies are amazing. But
Those fucking cookies
yes,
are
Yvonne,
ridiculous.
Yvonne Vegan Kitchen. You
No.
can find her on Instagram at like
I'm
just
gonna
like that.
tell
At
you.
Yvonne Vegan.
Let me tell you how
Kitchen.
good those cookies are. Yvonne what is it? Yvonne what?
Yvonne Vegan Kitchen.
Yvonne Vegan Kitchen. That's here in LA, right?
Yes.
Let me just tell you something. I got, the first time I had gelato when I was a kid, my parents took me on one of those really cheapy tourist things. I'm not complaining, but it was like one of those, you go on a bus, get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Can't wait for our kids to say that
stay in
and
the
you're being
shittiest-
super upset.
Stay shitty in the shittiest hotels. Literally, we were in the Hotel Arno in Italy, and the mosquitoes were hitting the window trying to get out of the fucking room. I'm not kidding. They're like, get me out of here. It's like, "Zzz. These Americans are annoying.
The mosquitoes had a people net.
So anyway, I remember like we were in the plaza, which is beautiful, like because Italy and like the other, they have like a center of town or parts of town, and it's beautiful. You sit and there's like 50 rows deep of like places to sit and have coffee and enjoy the evening. And
Look at you, ungrateful.
Anyway, so I'm saying though, like
He was sad about going to Italy when he was a kid.
but this was like before I was appreciating like that. I just remember I remember eating this gelato, which I'd never even heard of. And I remember eating, and the first thing I did when I took a bite of it, I got angry because like I didn't know that there was this kind of ice cream. Nobody told me it tasted this good. Who you guys have been holding out on me? So I got angry. I felt very similar when I ate that cookie. And we're like, geez, what is this?
What kind of cookie is it?
Vegan cookie? What is this? I didn't know there's such a good thing as there's a thing as a good vegan cookie.
It's a vegan
was shocked.
cookie with
Like chocolate chip?
chips, but it's ridiculously good. Like
Really?
seriously, the
No,
best
it was
cookie.
the best cookie I ever had.
Yeah, and it's insane because it's made out of like garbanzo.
It's made out of garbanzo anuses. Seriously.
Those are
It's like-
vegan?
Yeah.
I thought the garbanzo anus was a meat.
It's
Nope.
the if you take
It's
a
very
garbanzo.
very creamy ass.
Oh god! If you take a garbanzo anus, and then you crack it, and then you make a cookie out of it, and add chocolate. And it's not even chocolate chips, is it? It's like what is it? Like
No,
a
it's
Carob
it's like,
or something?
no. I hate that
It is
shit.
chocolate, but
No,
it
but
doesn't
what is
have
it?
milk.
Chocolate?
Yeah, just
It's
doesn't have
chocolate without
milk.
milk. How could it be fucking decent chocolate?
I don't know. She knows.
She's
her
evil.
shit.
I'm just saying, like those people have a deal with if you believe in God, then there's got to be the opposite, right? Because there's everything connected. Then she has a deal with the devil. That woman, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
to
they're
make
really
that
good.
cookie.
But
It's evil.
going back to the puppy.
Yeah. So the puppy was here.
The puppy was here
Kids
for
losing their mind.
several hours.
Yeah.
And it was the best thing ever. Seriously. Like
Yeah, it was amazing.
They were running with
The
with
kids
the puppy.
or just had the greatest time.
I mean, we do have a dog, but it's an older dog.
It's a dog that's like it's more like an alligator. Our dog.
Yes.
Your dog
Because
is...
I remember one time we had it jumping, and it was jumping up, and I said, "This looks like it's like a fucking alligator with long legs." You know, it's like, and literally, it's bit the other. It's bit another dog like 5 times.
Your dog is very cute. He's a very
likes
friendly
people.
dog, and he looks like a fucking lethal weapon.
No, it is.
No,
It's
it
like-
is.
He looks like a
It
danger.
is. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love the dog, but he's just a. It's tough. I mean, he just. But anyway, he's not.
He's getting older.
He's older, and
So he's not as fast. He's not as cute, to be honest. And then he's not as cute
happens.
he's.
anymore.
What if he listens to this show? What if he does? He's going to hear that? Somewhere he's going to feel like... He sleeps in here. He's going to pick that up in the...
Well, I mean, the reason I'm saying he's not that cute anymore is because he's like fucked up everywhere. Like his ears, are a little fucked up. So he has to wear this comfy cone.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It's fucked up right now. I'm working on it.
He doesn't play catch anymore. He plays watch Rob throw the ball and go get it.
No, I do take him for a walk, and then he'll just like, no, let's go back.
Yeah.
He says, no, you're going. He said, no, I'm not going.
But anyways, the other
this puppy
puppy's
came
like
over.
cute and fun and full of energy, and they're just like running and chasing.
And he's the right size too, because the other dog like knocks our kids over.
Right.
Exactly.
I know.
But the best part of having this puppy here
Best part.
was what?
He left.
Yes.
He was here for a few hours. Only pissed once, and then which
Where?
kind of reminded you. Luckily, he peed on the hardwood floor.
Nice.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He stayed away from the carpet, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. And then just reminding you, like, hey, this is not 100% positive. This whole puppy thing.
Yeah.
No, but it's amazing because he left,
Yeah.
and that was beautiful.
It was nice.
You had like a puppy diaper commercial moment. Like when you see babies and puppies in diaper commercials, it's just they never show them biting your fingers and shitting on the rug. Like you had a beautiful moment.
Wiping their ass slowly. The little what would you call that? The scoot.
That's a
the
good
scoot with the
There's
wipe.
never a scoot in the diaper commercial.
That's
It's like your carpet is toilet paper. I mean, your carpet is toilet paper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Say, wait a minute.
They should show a
I can wipe
commercial.
my ass on this carpet. This isn't. You know what? This is perfect.
You do have nice carpet.
The scooch, and then you see like the brown. Remember our old house?
That was horrible. Yes.
It was like a brown line. What is that? How did that brown line get there? And you realized, and you looked over, and it was like
It was the dog, like
the
just
dog.
wiping
scooching,
his ass in there.
scooching.
Really quick side story, and then I
Horrible.
want to go right back to what you're talking
Yes.
about. But my friend was watching my dog Floyd once, and I love this dog.
I love that name.
He was the kindest.
I can't be a tiny dog, Floyd.
He was a very big dog.
There you
He
go.
was the most wonderful
What kind
dog.
of dog? What kind?
Well, he was a rescue that was going to be an Alaskan sled dog, and his paws were too sensitive.
Oh, yeah.
And someone threw him outside, and my wife rescued him, and he was
Oh.
like the perfect dog. And my friend was watching him.
Not perfect for sledding, obviously.
Not perfect.
Less
for,
perfect.
He was
Perfect for like a family.
Apparently, he
Oh.
was a complainer.
Yeah, he was a bit of.
How do you know when the dog says, I can't do this? Does he lift his legs too high? Does he...
He was whining. He was
Okay.
whining and
Okay.
just not good at it.
He's a whiner.
He's a huge whiner.
So the kids love whiners. That's what I'm getting from this story.
Yeah, and so my friend is watching my dog.
Yeah.
And he calls me up kind of pissed off. He's like, oh, you wouldn't believe what your dog just did. And I go, what? And he goes, I was taking him outside. And he goes, he went to take a dump. He got into the squat. And he said, halfway through the action, my friend got an important phone call, which I actually find hard to believe based on his career. And he stopped my dog mid-dump and brought him inside the house. And he said my dog looked him right in the face and drew like a fucking line in the sand. Like he literally did like the ass track. And I was like, fucking good for him.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever deserved it more? Like, can you imagine if you were
In the middle of...
you're in the middle of a dump, somebody just grabs you by the arms and puts you in the car?
He deserved it.
Let him finish.
Oh.
But you were saying that like
Well,
you've heard of even renting dogs.
yes, you can do that. Totally.
You can rent a dog.
Yeah, for parties. You can rent puppies. Not dogs only, but puppies. Like the most amazing experience for kids.
That'd really make your dog feel like shit if you rent a dog.
I know. I feel bad for Camilo.
We can't rent him.
Camilo's going to know that the other dog is here. He's going to be walking around. Wait a minute. He's going to know it's a young dog.
I
He's going
know.
to think he's getting replaced.
Well, he is.
Oh.
Camilo would be
Eventually.
more like an Ace Rent-A-Car type of rental. Like the shuttles off airports.
He's a sweet old
Oh,
dog.
Poor Camilo.
He's my pal.
Rent-A-Wreck.
He's
My
a sweetheart.
gray-haired oldie.
I know. He's
Like
such
me.
a sweetie.
So, what was I going to say? Though,
But anyways,
yeah.
you
So
can rent all
Now, where do you
sort
go
of
to rent?
animals.
What do you mean all sort of animals?
Yes, I
Well,
went.
we had a pony one time come over.
No, it wasn't a pony. It was a donkey.
Oh, we had a donkey, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where do you rent a dog? Tylenol?
You just go to
Sorry,
to
I apologize.
rentdog.com.
You know, you can look up this thing on the internet now.
No, you
I'm
can
being
rent.
pretty much. Patricia's convinced me you can get anything on the internet. So we got a pony. Then nobody get like a donkey, right?
It was a donkey.
Are
Yeah.
you serious?
But it was the donkey from the movie The Ridiculous Six.
Famous donkey.
So this is like a donkey that like has a history with Miranda.
Dude, you guys got a donkey with an IMDb page. I mean, that's not just a regular animal.
This donkey had credits.
But let me
donkey is-
tell you something. He came and everything was amazing until he started eating the grass, and Rob was like, "Okay, enough." Get him out.
No, because it was, he was just eating the grass. He was like ripping it out. He was like taking a piece of turf.
Yeah. And then Rob was like, okay, enough.
Okay, come on. Let's lift him up. Get him out of here.
And then the other kids were like, we want to ride
Nope.
too.
Gone. No, they all got that chance. They just, the third and fourth ride.
That would bother me, though. The lawn's a big deal. You don't want a freaking donkey ruining your lawn.
Yeah, well, if you don't want to ruin your lawn, you
just
don't
tell
bring a donkey in the first place.
Let me tell you this.
Did you get the insurance on the
when
rental donkey?
The whole grass came up, and literally like the edge of the house was being picked up by his teeth. He was doing the whole. It was just like it was like a cartoon. He was literally lifting the whole the whole lawn was like being lifted up, and we're like out of here. But now we don't have. It was before we had the as Miranda calls it, the monkey tower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
before
it was
the monkey
before
tower.
that, yes. Yeah, Madeline wasn't even here.
I didn't even realize this. We have the monkey tower, which is just basically it's a slide, and there's a place to climb up, and a little rock thing you can climb up, like a little what do they call it?
Rock climbing
wall, and then
swings
for 2-year-olds, a rock climbing wall, and swings, and then and it just turned into a place for snails to fuck. Is what it turned into. It's a
hotel for snails.
It's like a
Same Motel 6 for snails.
Snails, like they just come fuck. I mean, it's nothing but snails on the fucking thing. Snails and the little baby snails. They're just fucking all night.
Really?
You go, there's a pile. What is that pile in between the thing? And it's like that's snail shit. There's like a pile of snail shit.
Oh my god.
And they just it's like, oh my god, it makes them. Our slide makes every snail in the neighborhood super horny.
I'm not even kidding you. When I was walking in there, I heard a snail go to another snail. Hey, meet you at the monkey tower.
No, it's just something.
I don't know what they're going to do.
There's just the perfect amount of shade and moisture and slide.
Oh,
you
know a lot about snails.
Well, I'm out there with the kids and we're knocking off the snails, gently because Miranda's passion in her school, which I want to talk about, is schools is going to be the subject. The dogs and schools. Now, here's the thing. Mm-hmm. Her passion, why don't you tell people what our 6-year-old's passion was at school? Like passion, what you'd have to do a report about and everything and tell people. And it changes it changes.
So they ask you what your passion is, and your daughter said?
Bugs.
Okay.
Bugs. Insects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bugs and insects.
Is she
everything she said.
She been made aware of the snail hotel?
Yeah, but she's just basically like, if there's like a bug, don't kill it, which I get, but like, we make a rule. If it's a dangerous spider, and it's probably not going to make it outside. Might make it to the tissue.
Yep.
Might make it to the toilet.
Might make it to the
hopefully it's a swimmer.
Bottom of your shoe.
Yeah, might make it to my bottom of the slipper.
Dude, I was at your house and I found a spider. Do you remember this, Patricia? Rob was not here. And there was this spider.
Oh, yeah.
It was just about scary level, Like there's the little ones. I was like, this one frightens me a little. And I would normally have just killed the spider.
Yeah.
But both of your cute children were watching me. And so I decided, Rob, I would kill the spider, but pretend that I had not killed the spider. That was my plan. So I go, hey, I got it. Everything's good. I'm just going to go release him outside. And I thought I killed him. Fucking thing was still alive. I really saved his life. I really saved him. But
look, my mom almost, she almost killed her. She's 90 now, and she got bit on the ass by a spider. She had to go get like a round of antibiotics. It was in the bed.
That was terrible.
And Patricia's got like, But you know what? Like a spider instincts. Because one time she said, no, what? I think I got a feeling. And she opened up the bed. Because what happened was we used to live in the Hollywood Hills. And the Hollywood Hills is a hill on the side, and it was like you don't realize like
Spider Village in there.
Yeah, there's like there's been spiders there for hundreds of thousands of years, or 100, and they're coming through there, and there's like, and you just decide to build a house there. Well, your house is on the way, or the spiders are getting someplace.
Well, yeah, I stayed in that house once.
Yeah,
the room was in the lower part of the house.
Yeah,
and Rob Schneider, I had just met him. I was kind of nervous to be staying in your house for the first time. We were working together on something. Came into the room and I was just like kind of nervous, excited. And
I had my pants on. What are you talking about? Where's this going?
You had your pants on?
Kind of nervous.
You totally had your pants on at first.
Okay, good.
And you said to me, you're like, all right, we'll get up early and we'll do some work. And you go, hey, before you go to bed, check for spiders. And you turn the light. And I was like,
I wasn't screwing around.
No, there were big spiders. Like I got inside of the bathroom and I swear I thought someone was staring at me.
No, she's serious.
No, seriously, like when you feel like someone is staring at you, and then I turned, and it was this huge spider on the wall.
Huge.
God.
Some of this honestly scared the shit out of us. These spiders in the Hollywood, in this area of the Hollywood Hills, were so fucking big.
How big?
I'm not kidding. I'm talking about like the size of a quarter, and like with the legs and everything. I'm big.
The body's a quarter?
Yeah. The bodies were the big motherfuckers, and maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but one was a different kind. Like literally, I'm not kidding. I was never been more scared shitless of an animal, unless an insect. There was like next to the shower, the same shower where the spider was like masturbating, watching it or whatever.
Good Lord. That's horrible.
Taking a shower, like I like that.
He's like, which leg should I use to masturbate?
Oh my God!
So many choices.
Sitting on one leg.
I think I got this figured out. Oh, too much steam. So I remember, I thought it was. I swear to God, I thought it was like a small pile of leaves.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it was a fucking spider, and it seemed like a $50 size. I'm not kidding you. It was absolutely, and it's like it was a special. I tried to look it up, and then there's this thing, and I did look it up. I looked up like the most dangerous, like the wolf spider. Or the what do they call it? The wolf spider is like a poisonous spider, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
you know what's also dangerous?
I took a picture of it.
But you recognize that one because it goes, oh.
You assholes. It's a real fucking thing. It's a real thing. Wolf spider.
Wolf spider?
Yeah.
Are
It's
you
a wolf
sure?
spider. Yeah.
I've heard of it. They only turn into it with a full moon.
Oh, you assholes.
You have to
All right.
chain
Google
their
it,
leg
Google
to a bed.
Guys, we have
Just
to
in
have
case.
The brown recluse is the one that
brown recluse, which is I think also
Recluse.
goes by the name of wolf spider. Can I just tell?
think that exists.
Hey, no. Wait a minute. One of our interns is going to look it up right now. Can you check it out,
I
please?
want to look up wolf spider.
All right, check it out.
Okay, you
Give a look.
assholes. Here it is by our lovely intern. Wolf spiders are members of the family from the ancient Greek and meaning wolf. They are robust and agile hunters. Okay, did you know that pest management professionals will often place glue traps where the wolf spiders have been seen in order to remove them?
Can I see a picture of it?
Okay, yeah. So anyway, wolf spider, let me see, bite. Venom toxicity. The bite of the wolf spider is poisonous, but not lethal. All right, whatever.
Oh my God, they're scary.
Oh, you asshole.
No, they're. I'm
they
showing
really are,
Patricia
yeah.
a picture. It is.
Although non-aggressive, they bite freely if provoked and should be considered dangerous to humans. Okay,
They bite freely.
I like how they say they're not aggressive and
They bite freely. Isn't that one of the members of Kiss?
Yeah, bite freely.
Bite
he was
freely.
my favorite.
He was one. They kicked him out, right? Bite freely. He was the drummer, right? Okay, bite freely. If provoked, they should be considered dangerous to humans. Just so you know, you guys
Okay,
are laughing at
okay.
me. The bite may be very painful. First aid and medical attention should
If
be
you
sought.
ate?
First aid.
Oh.
First, you went there. Okay, first, not
Oh, you
first
didn't
aids. I
hear
said
it.
first aids. I said first aid,
Oh.
and medical attention should be sought as soon as possible. Particularly, Jesus,
English is not my first language.
I know, it's not your first language. Yeah, lo siento, mi amigos. Okay, it's dangerous.
I like
All
how
right.
it says they're not aggressive and then talks about how much shit they're going to do if you walk by them.
Yeah, but anyway, I remember I said, let me just take a picture of this fucking thing, and let me just look it up on my magic phone. I think I had an iPad. I mean, it was an iPhone 6 or 8 or whatever at the time.
And it was one of those.
It looked like my picture was better than the other picture, but it was like the same spider, except the
wow.
picture on the internet was more blurry. But it was, yeah. So anyway, you know what though is like. Before we're going to digress, you were talking about this because some of the comments about our fast-growing podcast is that we're just meandering, we're all over the place.
Oh, I heard that from one person that that you sent it to. Not all the reviews, by the way.
We have perfect reviews.
They're all 5-star reviews.
Oh,
And anyone who's
thank
listening,
you.
it really does help if you like the podcast to rate it and review it and subscribe. It's
That's
super
very
helpful.
nice.
It is nice. Please subscribe. But it just
Yes.
you don't want to be like somebody sent me a Father's Day thing this Father's Day, and they said you're a great father, an amazing father. Everyone agrees you're an incredible father. There's a picture of Trump, like amazing, incredible. Everyone agrees you're a fantastic father, and everyone has to say what an amazing father you are. I don't know.
There were 20,000 people at your Father's Day
let me
party.
guess who sent that.
Who?
Woody?
Yeah, God, you're amazing.
That's good.
Yeah.
My buddy from high school, buddy. Another word for stalker.
We should get into that sometime.
No, he's my buddy.
He's a nice guy.
He's the best.
But
he's
didn't
a
his
sweetheart.
Start off as more of a stalker situation?
Well, he was like, we're actually friends with. God, we went to school together. He was a year ahead of me, and we were friends. We had my friend. Our mutual friend.
Didn't he live in the tree right next to your house, your bedroom window?
He we're friends with Craig Frazier, and the great guy, and that's how I met Woody. And Craig passed away, and I got stuck with Woody. That was his gift.
Happens.
It was his gift. No, but Woody's been
super nice
dear.
Guy. He has beautiful kids.
Beautiful kids, sweetheart kid, beautiful kids. Monique and Toby.
Mm-hmm.
And they're great kids, and he's great. He's so proud of his kids. Sends pictures of his kids. Anyway, so speaking of kids, we're gonna go.
Oh, schools.
Off
we
of
said
spiders.
we were going to talk about schools.
Now. You have 3 kids.
I do.
Your youngest, what school? It's 4 now, so you got to start thinking about preschool, right? So
Yes.
what are you thinking? Like, I mean, because like we had some choices out here. Basically, out in Malibu, you got like, well, you don't have choices yet, but it's hippie or more hippie-ish school or less hippie school.
Hippie or hippier.
Yeah, hippiest, medium hippie. Full-on hippie or like,
Hey,
whoa.
Can I say something really quick about hippie? Actually, this
Yes?
morning I was driving and I was actually like going through it's Parkway, Calabasas.
Yeah.
And I saw this guy getting out of his car.
Yeah.
And he was barefoot.
That's disgusting.
He was just walking, like he was going to go to like do some dry cleaning or something.
Really?
Good Lord.
But he was seriously, and he got out of a Prius.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand that level of hippie. It's like
Just
I
being
wasn't
barefoot?
confused. I was confused because it's like, is this guy homeless? Is this guy just hippie? I don't understand.
You could be a wealthy hippie. Wealthy homeless hippie.
I hope he steps on a wolf spider. I mean, that is just so disgusting.
No, I just, you know what?
just don't understand that.
Girls, sometimes you see like the hippie-ish girls who walk barefoot, and it just, I mean, like, you know, have you never, I mean.
No, they're not hippie. They're drunk. And they're just like getting tired with their heels.
I don't know how many there are.
They just take their heels off and they just walk drunk.
Oh God.
Barefoot.
Okay, let's say during the day. Let's keep the sun up for this one.
Okay.
How about girls that are just like during the daytime walking around, you know, whatever. And I just like, I grew up in San Francisco where we had what I would call the Chinese handkerchief.
What is that?
Which is just a Chinese guy blowing his nose, but covering one nostril, and like just expelling this
Oh my God.
onto the pavement. And I was like, hey, I am never wearing shoes inside the house ever again. And that's more and more catching. But anyway, I just remember like Chinatown, which we used to spend, you know, my parents took us to Chinatown every Sunday until there was a shooting in Chinatown at one of the restaurants, one of the triad gang shootings. We never went back to Chinatown ever again. That was at my mom. That's it. See what happens? We're never going ever again to Chinatown. That's it. It's why the people are shooting. That's it. No más. Bastos. That was it. So anyway.
But going back to schools.
Yes, sorry.
So
that's what your person was commenting about. Me just digressing.
I don't know.
But this is just our normal talking. We always go like,
Yeah, I'm always
Can
everywhere.
I ask a question?
Yes.
Is preschool the one that you with regular school you can choose public or private, and public
Yes.
would be free. Preschools you always pay for, right?
Yes.
Well, I
that's
mean,
true.
yeah, you have to pay something.
But
right,
I think,
I mean,
they do pre-K, and
Yeah.
I think that's public as
I got to
well.
say, like, you know what, they'll take these
it's
kids.
not preschool. I think it's called pre-K.
You
or
gotta,
maybe
like-
it's the same thing. I don't know.
Okay.
If the kid can use a toilet, you know, if they're as soon as they're out of diapers, you can take them in. But there's
He
some
can use the
preschools.
toilet. I mean, he uses it to throw shit into, but I mean, he's good at it.
Okay, as long as he uses the toilet for some reason. But if, you know, some places you can have, like, you know, they'll even change a diaper or whatever. But like the school that we took our kid to when she was 3,
No, they required.
They
that
require-
My
They're
kids,
potty
my kids
trained.
use it. My daughter trained my son to use the bathroom when he was like late 2s.
That's awesome.
Wow, your daughter did that.
Yeah, she just took it upon herself
Can we borrow Briar to
Yes.
see if
She
she can
loves
train
it.
her little Madeline? Because Miranda is not into training her sister.
Do you know
at
she
all.
even
what?
goes in
Yeah.
there and talks to him?
Wow.
When he's in the potty, she goes in and like entertains him.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Wow. That is pretty nuts.
Pretty nuts.
That's
But so I
pretty
don't know
nice.
what we're doing because you guys know my family's in Alaska and I only see them like 1 week a month, and so it's kind
Right
of
now, you've only seen them one.
Right now.
That's the situation.
But probably a Montessori is where other kids went.
You know what?
She
That's
might
what
do a
I would like to
Montessori.
try for little Madeline.
What
I
is
want to
the-
go for a Montessori.
What is the theory behind Montessori? I'm going to get one of our interns to look it up. Can you look up Montessori?
Well,
Hang on, let me
basically,
get
what
that.
I understand.
When I say intern to look it up, I mean me to look it up. One of
No,
our
it's
one of
like
our
they
one of
let
our
them
see what
explore.
happens interns is going to look up.
You're
It's
exactly
like an
right.
exploration thing.
Free play.
Yes.
They
What is
pick
it? Free play.
They sort of pick what they want to play with, isn't that it? And
Yeah.
the lady, what her name's Montessori, the lady that invented it, and they don't force you to do certain things. You could all kind of be doing something
So
different.
it's kind of like
the same
at
classroom.
SeaWorld, they don't force the whale to do a trick if they don't want to. They don't force the kindergartner to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it might be better than the school that we took Miranda to.
What
I mean,
happened there?
It's not a bad school, but it's like it has this beautiful philosophy about like, environment and
Mhm.
blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't think they're doing it right.
Well, what do you think was wrong with her?
Well, I just think that they really don't know how to manage kids' conflict.
Mm.
Well, no,
That
I
really
would say
bothers
that
me.
I would say that their management that they chose to use isn't one that you would think was effective. I mean, for them, basically, like if, for instance, our kid got bit by one of her classmates, bit, and they wouldn't tell us which one bit, as if no, we're not. It's a policy not to tell you. So as soon as we get there, said Miranda, who bit you? And said, you bit me.
Mm-hmm.
He bit me. I just say
Gabriella bit me.
yeah.
Why would you not get to know?
Exactly.
What
That's
That was
kid bit
their.
your
I mean,
kid?
like as if we wouldn't find out from our own kid anyway, because it was just that's the policy of the school.
But how crappy
Is to
that
not tell
is.
you, and like also
Oh,
if
like
something
that.
else happened, they won't tell you like what happened exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If there is a conflict or a fight or something, they were just like a very non-confrontational kind of thing. And then like I just didn't like the verbiage that was coming out. Like to me, I didn't like the way it's like
Yeah, they learned this weird.
close your channel.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Basically,
know.
it means like you have to close the channel. In other words, like finish the thing. You don't just leave something undone. Finish it. Which kind of makes sense now that I think about it. I never thought about it until
little kids.
I never thought about it until
My
right
wife
now.
actually closed her channel the last 10 years we were married.
No, but here, like, they make the kids talk
Yeah.
about the whatever they're fighting, right? And the problem with that, in the humble opinion of the Mexican, is that they're too young to
really grasp.
to only use that. I don't mind them talking about the problem and apologizing. Like if one kid hit the other kid,
Yeah, they should deal
talk
with it.
about it and then blah blah blah. But
I like
they
that.
don't really fix it. I mean, they just say what happened and that's it.
I think sometimes you gotta go,
Because
hey, knock that shit off.
For sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, but I don't know if that's like the right way either, truthfully. Like, I mean, I just remember like,
It is.
No, for I think you could be like, the next school we're taking her in is like the opposite of the hippie school. She's going to Catholic school,
Yes.
which is like, you not only is this like, forget about closing your channel and like, is there another way that possibly you can work this out? Whatever. It's like, you're going to hell. You know what I mean? It's like the opposite. Like, hey, listen, God is judging you for eternal damnation if you do that again.
Exactly.
Which is a little different than.
I like it.
Can you think? Is there another way that possibly is there another solution that we can maybe think of? How about you're going to burn? There's a fiery place made for children that don't. So I mean, I think that's a little too far. But I do think that like.
Look, if
I do think you need to have what we're saying is there needs to be some. If there's actions that happen, there needs to be some
Accountability?
accountability,
Yeah.
culpability.
Culpability.
yeah,
Better.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't one of the greatest things ever the first time you see someone else yell at your kid when they deserve it? It's the greatest thing ever because like you don't have to do it. Like watching someone in a fair way straighten your kid out. I think is.
I gotta say that I didn't yell at the kid today, but when I was at gymnastics, Miranda was in line with the other girls. One of the boys, another boy who was bigger, just started bouncing on at the gymnastics. They take their turns to take this one section of the gymnastics place to bounce and do the thing, and then they jump up and move their legs and up really high or apart or whatever, and they do a flip or whatever. So she's waiting in line. This kid comes over, jumping, flipping, jumping, and the teacher right there is not doing anything, just waiting. And I was like, fine, I couldn't take it. I went like, hey, these other kids. Let's get it together. Let's move it out.
Good for you.
Good for you. I can't do those things.
And then she said, and then the teacher was like, yeah. Can you please let's one more flip? She gave him one more, and he gave him one. He didn't even look over me. This little shit, this little shithead. He didn't even look at me. Didn't even acknowledge. But he got off because the tone was like, hey, let's go. Move it out.
You're hogging the trampoline.
Let's go. You got a bunch of girls over there. When your nuts descend a little bit, you realize that there's something else more interesting than jumping on a trampoline.
You know what Nino was telling me the other day?
I'm worried.
Nino, our friend.
Our good friend Nino from Australia.
He was telling me that his brother told his son, because there was this kid bothering him at school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he told his son, he said, you are going to tell that kid that if he hits you again, you're gonna hit him back, and if he laughs at you or something, then you're gonna tell him, I'm gonna hit him.
Oh, damn.
So the dad was gonna hit the kid, the other kid, and it fixed the problem.
Well, I will tell you, that it does fix the problem. But the thing about it was like, here's a really weird thing that happened. Was like,
but they're Italian, so it makes sense.
Okay, so like there was an incident that happened at school, and and we were furious about it because like they wouldn't tell us the kid that bit our our kid, and I was like, hey, this not hey, and I remember going like, hey, we can't have a kid getting bit because this other kid's been bugging her over there, and so I finally, but then our daughter told us who bit her, and then I said I'm going to
Gabriella.
Oh God. So I'm going to. This is going to exist on the internet forever,
I know. Well, she did.
Okay.
By the way, I went to that school recently. She is wearing a comfort cone now, and so the kids are much safer.
So anyway, so I said I was really pissed off, and then I went and said to the teacher, and I said, you got to tell us who did. And of course, our daughter told us right away. So I said, I'm going to say something to the mom. And so the teacher didn't say anything to the mother.
That's insane.
I know, it's nuts to me, but you know what? So I'm going to say something. So I said, we handle it in-house here, kind of whatever kind of thing. So I said, hey, listen, your kid bit my kid. And she just...
Wouldn't it have been funny if she was like, grrr.
Hang on 1 second. Let's pause this.
Pausey.
We're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to tell you all the places that you can come see me, Rob Schneider, live. Saturday, August 31st, I'm going to be at the Rising Sun Casino in Indiana. That's the Rising Star Casino Resort. Rising Star Casino Resort in Indianapolis and Indiana. And then, of course, one of my favorite comedy clubs you'll ever... It's a very odd place for a comedy club, but it's actually really good. It's the Comedy Zone in Jacksonville, Florida. One of the best places, and we've been there.
We have.
Comedy Zone, Jacksonville, Florida. That's September 20th and the 21st. There'll be 4 shows. And then I'll be up at one of the favorite places in the world that I love, Seattle, Washington, at a tiny comedy club called Laughs Comedy Club. And that's just one night, Seattle, Washington, Thursday, September 26th. Laughs Comedy Club. And then the 27th of September, Friday, I'll be at Coquitlam, BC. That's the Molson Canadian Theatre, Hard Rock. Coquitlam, that's got to be British Columbia. And that's the Molson Canadian Theatre, Hard Rock. And I'll be there for one night. And then State Line the next week, State Line, Nevada. The Mont Bleu Casino Resort Spa, that's October 4th. Only a couple more, guys. And then Rohnert Park, October 5th, Saturday at Sally Tomatoes. And then I'll be at the Blue Lake Casino October 6th. And then Caroline's for the week of October 11th through the 13th. And hopefully Jamie Lissow will be there. And we're going to be performing together, all of us, by the way. We're going to be at La Jolla at the Comedy Store for the 25th through the 27th of October. And then we're going to be performing together. And we had to, again, move this gig because of our TV show, Real Rob. It will be a Real Rob TV show with Patricia Maya, the great Jamie Lissow, and the Real Rob show at Cove Haven Resort. And that's Lakeville, Pennsylvania. And the Cove Haven Resort. That's going to be December 7th. Three of us will be there. So that'll be fun.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys. And we are back with the lovely Patricia Schneider and also the great Jamie Lissow.
So what happened?
So I saw the mother, and I was still kind of I said, fuck, my mind is like, oh, I'm going to give her a piece of my mind, right?
Yeah.
So I said, excuse me, I said, hey, so I got to tell you, your kid. And it's funny when in your mind you think, oh, I'm going to say, your kid bit my kid, and it's happened. But the more that I when it was really going to happen, the more I got softer, and I was like, hey, I just got to tell you, I'm already like crumbling like a cow. The cow,
apologizing
the
already.
Coward. I'm just sorry.
Sorry to bother you with
Sorry
this.
that my daughter's chest got in the middle of your daughter's mouth.
Your daughter's trying to eat.
Yeah, and so I said, hey, your kid bit my kid. And then I saw her literally throw her hands in her face and just kind of curl, like, oh, God, like not another thing. Oh, no. And I just totally forgot about what a horrible thing happened to my kid and thinking about what she's going through. This mom has got she's got other issues that she's dealing with that we don't have anything about, that is like, wow, this is just another thing piling on top of her. And I literally, it's like, oh, God,
Yeah, but it still is not okay that the school is not telling you.
That was it for us. Basically, at that point,
yeah,
we emotionally got out of that school.
Yeah.
It took us another year, but
took us another year because we didn't have another option.
And it was so convenient because it's literally just only $40,000 a year. It was so convenient.
No, the good
right
thing,
down the street.
I would say the good stuff about that school was really, really good.
No, there was some great stuff.
Yes,
Beautiful.
That's
campus.
why it was hard
and great teachers. Mm-hmm. Terrific teachers that I think were really loving and nice, and there was only a small amount of kids in the class. So I mean, it's got its, it had its real highs. I mean, I really think like that pre-K stuff, whatever, that was just a great time.
Yes.
But I just think as far as I don't know. I guess I want my kid to be as tortured as I was, I guess, in school or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it'll be a hard transition?
I think no.
Oh yeah, no, I do think.
No, she's gonna adapt. No, it's just I mean, kids really adapt to anything. Look, I went to a Catholic school.
Yeah.
And then I was moved to another school.
Wait a minute. You're Mexican and you're Catholic?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
And
because there are no other kinds of Mexicans, by the way. There's a few Jews out there in Mexico City.
There's some Jews. There are some Mexican Jews. There are some orange Jews. Apple Jews.
Lime Jews.
So at this Catholic school, yes. I've never been to one. Mm-hmm. Is it really their nuns hitting with rulers and stuff?
No, it's not as
but
bad.
What was your experience?
It was great. It was really good. The only thing that it was boring to me was going to mass, to be honest.
Well, first of all,
when you're a kid,
that's a long time
boring.
in there. You guys it's like a mass is like, it could be like, no, I'm not kidding. It's like an hour and a half.
No. It was an hour. But still,
I went to Catholic. I grew up Catholic, just never went to Catholic school. And I think the reason they have you kneel down and stand up is to fucking keep you awake. Like, it's so boring. Like, everybody stand up. I want to make sure they're paying attention.
It was boring, yeah.
But it was boring. But what were the good things about it? He liked it.
I like the structure, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. I think that, like, if you notice, like, as our kid was like... it's funny because she takes like Taekwondo, whatever, but she doesn't take it like seriously. And she's just like, and I swear to God, like when she was 3, we're in there, and I said, we're just paying $75 a month to like, just to annoy an old Asian man. Like, that's not a kick. No, left. That's not your left. That's still not your left. That's okay. That's your left. Okay, yeah, now your foot. That's not your foot. Kick, then turn. Oh God, it's not worth it. And then, but
no, she's really good now.
And now, but because he was strict with her, and said, if you're not going to concentrate or practice, I'm going to take your belt away from you.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what, though? I think that's the story that you want to think it was the successful one. I told Miranda she was going to turn into a ninja. And then this is when she started being like, ooh, I want to be a ninja.
Okay, we see, that's my Asian background. It's just like, see what happens?
Well, maybe it was
If you do not see what happens, see what happens. Because that really is it. If you don't do this, then see what happens. That's why, like, Asian kids are so successful, in my opinion. You don't see homeless Asian people.
Yeah.
I do a whole thing about that in my act. You don't see homeless, But, that's why there's Asian people, in my opinion, because the parents are very strict, and my parents, I used to get good grades, and my mom would go, Mom, I get straight A's. So what?
Wow.
That's your job to get straight A's. That's you do your job. What, do you want a cookie? She said it to me. What, do you want a cookie? Huh? You do your job. That's your job. You're smart. What do you want? You want something extra? Then do something extra. You don't hear me saying, hey, I cooked and cleaned all day. What do I get? What do I get? Huh? You do your job. I do my job. We keep this relationship nice and cold. That's it.
Damn.
Oh, my God.
She was tough.
Did you ever go, yeah, I'll take a cookie?
I'll take a hug.
No.
No, but I mean, I'm exaggerating, but not much. But I mean, I will say, just like, because the thing is, like, I mean, it's just different. I mean, it's hard to compare, but like, this sounds like a crazy story, but it's true. My mother and her sister, because it's confirmed by her sister, that my mother, because it costs money to go to school. There's no like free public school. That's that everybody just kind of just assumes is just everyone who wouldn't get that. My mother, you had to pay to go to school in the Philippines. She found money that the Japanese buried in a cave along with her father, just because the father abandoned the family. She never met her father until she was older. And she found money that the Japanese buried in a cave along with these things that she thought could be valuable. And she thought they were like pineapple, like metal pineapples. They were hand grenades.
Holy shit.
And to her, they said, this could be valuable, so let's take this back too. And so when her uncle saw this, she's like, no, those could blow up. Don't leave it right there. Don't move. And like, yeah. So that could have been it.
Wow.
She tells this other story. But so anyway, so that was like her money. She tells this other story about her bullet. Because she said the thing why she feels she survived the wars, because she said, I said, well, why do you think you survived and other people didn't? She said, well, I was never afraid. So she had this one story where she was literally walking to school, and there was this, she called it her bullet, which was this unexploded shell. And she would kick it on the way, and then she'd come back, and on the way home from school, it'd be back in the middle of the street. She'd kick it again, and it'd roll, whatever. And she did this for days. And then one day she's walking to school, and the Japanese had cordoned off that area because she said, "What's going on?" And they said, she learned Japanese, and they said, "Non desu ka?" And they said, and she said, "Well, what's going on?" She said, "Well, there's a live round out there." And she kind of peeked over, and there's a bunch of people around, and it was just, she said, that's just my bullet. It was like if she was kicking like a unexploded. It just because it was very, very soft, the soil over there. Sometimes the bombs would drop and they wouldn't explode. So this is an unexploded military ordinance, and she was just kicking. So I mean, so those kind of things. She didn't think she could die, and she just,
and I think she's right.
She's 90 now, so maybe yeah.
Damn.
I know the devil's like, you're doing so much good work up there. Keep going.
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm not ready for you yet. No, but yeah. So I mean, her story's like, I remember like when I was a little kid, I was just like, I'm gonna tell me another story, and like and they're very consistent. But like, I mean, some of the stories are like, whoa. And like, I was with her because both her brothers were killed by the Japanese during the war. One of them was in the Bataan Death March. Her brother, her oldest brother, Bill, he was drafted when he was 17 by Roosevelt. And it was interesting, but like there were 67 countries that fought alongside the United States in World War II. 66 of the countries got death benefits. In other words, the United States would pay for if you served alongside or with the United States military, they would pay for your funeral service, basically. Very, nominal amount, but still something for people. It was something, right? And it was also an acknowledgement. And so he was, The only country that didn't get it was the Philippines.
No.
And so in 2000, it was like, there was a few of us that went to Congress, and we ended up getting the death benefits for the remain. All these guys are in their 80s by then. So anyway, both of one of her brothers, both of her brothers were killed, and one of them he survived the Bataan Death March, but then died afterwards. I think he got dysentery and died. The other brother was like 15 years old. He said no, and he was convinced. Like no, my older brother didn't die. He escaped, and he's up in the. He's a rebel. He's fighting up. He's a guerrilla, and he's fighting. I'm gonna go, and so he got captured on his way there. My mom tried to convince him, my uncle John, not to go to the up there because he's 15. What the hell does he know? He's just going to get... Sure enough, he got caught by the Japanese. And they tortured him and beheaded him.
Oh, no.
But the thing about it was like... The thing was so crushing was that my grandmother, his mother, Victoria, got contacted by the Japanese and said, like, if you want to come get your son, come pick him up. But then she knew, because, all the stories that you hear, was like, if you go, then they torture you in front of the... son to get information, but he had no information to give. So she had to decide, I got to help keep these other kids. If I go, then who's going to help get food and everything for these other kids of her other kids? She had,
Whoa.
3 other girls. So she had to make that decision to let that son die. It was a horrible thing. So,
oh God.
Anyway, but the point of the story was like, I was with my mother at her 60th high school reunion, which was up in the Bay Area. And there was only like 8 of her classmates still alive. And that's where she discovered what really happened to her own brother. Was that why the Japanese captured him, why they thought he knew something? Because he was wearing his brother's army boots. Oh. And so he said, well, the army boots, he must know something, must be part of it, And he was a tall kid, and he's half American, because my mom's father was an American soldier who she didn't meet until... That's another long story.
Wow.
But anyway, so just to bring everybody down to that.
Yeah. Good
so,
Lord.
So that's why
that's really sad.
Yeah. So, that's what my mother carries, a lot of this really intense stuff. And that's why, like, when I was a child, I didn't understand, like, my mother was a war survivor, and that extended into us. So we ended up like 2nd generation war survivors. You're gonna eat that potato? I have to walk 3 days for that potato. I have to negotiate with the peasants, the farmers, for, we used to take bed sheets and make pajamas out of them to get that potato. And then I have to walk, and then the Japanese would be shooting at us. And if they didn't kill us, they would steal our good potatoes. So I take one potato, I put it in my shoe. And I bring back my mother's mind, the Japanese, they stole our potatoes. And I got one potato stuck in my shoe. My mother, she would feed us for 3 days on the one sweet potato, one kamote. Yeah, and she said, they would take the skin, she'd burn the skin, she'd tell me. And that would be our coffee, because it looked like coffee. Because they burned the skin of the kamote, and it's the same color. So there's like, it would taste like something.
Wow.
And she would just pick water to the kamote and just make soup or whatever they could make out of it. But I mean, her stories were like,
But what did you say after? Like, she said, you gotta eat that, because, and then she tells you the whole story.
You can't, when you're 7 and 8, you don't, I remember very, very well.
It?
Yeah. Yeah, you would. Sometimes you also thought she was nuts. I always thought my mom just...
But you couldn't leave anything on your plate, right?
Well, yeah. That was the whole point. Remember my dad had to explain to her, hey, Pilar, you got to throw this food out. Why? It's still good. Yeah, it's got mold on it. And she's like, we can cut the mold off. I can make soup out of it. I said, well, I'm not going to eat it. But you know what we could do? He said, what we do is we throw it away. Then we get new food, the same as that. Mm-hmm. And then if we don't eat that, then we throw that away and we get the same again. She didn't understand that whole concept of like wasting food, But she
I gotta say that in America, there's a lot of wasted
incredible
food.
waste.
Oh, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. And it's a weird thing. It's like even it's like, for people who are starving, for people who are like homeless, and people who are like, we have a ton of homeless people here. The restaurants, it's like they can't even use any of the food that's left over. They literally have to it's just like, the state has laws about that if you throw it out in the dumpster, they have to put bleach on it and stuff. It's just
really?
Yeah, it's just this horrible stupidity. Oh, man. California's the dumbest state.
Well, it's just in case a homeless person gets sick and sues the restaurant.
Well, everything has to do with getting sued in America.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything has to do with something.
But too bad there's not some way to
Right?
Give
You
them
would
some-
think.
Even the grocery stores.
You would think, like, let's not throw that away. We can make, those avocados. We can probably make something out of that,
Yeah.
But it's just.
It's crazy. There's a documentary on Netflix. Like, there are not enough documentaries.
Wait a minute. Are you saying Netflix has documentaries?
Yes.
Whoa.
I know.
What's this one about?
This one is about wasting food, and also it's about how the people, when you go to the grocery store, everything has to look perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And if not, you don't buy it. So if, for instance, you pick up like these bananas and then there are like a couple of, like spots in there or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
then
like they get bruised.
Then you don't, but then people don't buy them.
Very true.
And those go to waste.
I know, you're right. You're
And it's
100%
crazy.
right.
And everything has to be like perfect. And
In Europe, they don't let you touch the fruit.
Yeah,
they
that's
just
true.
go like,
That's the way to do it.
no. You might
Yeah.
get the bruise here and there.
And
But
then
know what
get
I
the
do with
good
the
ones and the bad ones.
bruised banana? I put a little bleach on it. It's just delicious. Unbelievable.
But you're right about that.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of food gets wasted. But because also apparently, if people go to the grocery store and they don't see massive amounts of apples and and tomatoes and onions and everything, they are not interested into buying them.
You know what's interesting? It's like
The amounts.
Right.
People
you know what's
want-
interesting? It's like sometimes the fruit will drop off onto the floor and they'll just pick it up and put it right back on there. But like if you see that happening, you won't get that fruit, but you don't know which one fell on the floor.
It's
However,
the idea, right?
It's the idea, yeah. It's just
It's the idea.
You should
I'm
wash
paying
it always.
for this, and also
yeah,
like,
it's like-
I'm gonna get the best.
And Americans, we're spoiled. It's the same reason that we want to squeeze the fruit and ruin it just in case, which does happen. The same reason why people won't get out in America won't get out of the fast lane on the highway. It's like there's this feeling of like, this is mine. I pay my taxes, or I'm doing this. I don't have to get out of the way just because you're in a hurry or whatever. And it's just like that is just not the European. They can't, or Asia. If you do that, if you refuse to get out of the fast lane in Germany, they will run you off the road.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then some journal guy, what happened? Was ist los? And they said, well, the guy wouldn't get out of the way, but then of course you kill him. Why wouldn't you run? I'm going to run him off the road again. Where is he? I'll run over him again. But in America, it's like, I got this. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of this feeling that you've...
Entitlement.
Yeah, it's like no. It's just mine. You go around me, you son of a bitch. I think it's the same thing with the fruit squeezing.
With the food.
I feel like I'm not a very selective produce guy. I kind of go with first available, and I would like to give myself credit for being, if someone flies by me in the fast lane and then cuts me off, I'm like, yeah, dude, fucking do it. Like, I don't get competitive. I go, get up there, buddy, wherever you're going.
But sometimes like you're going pretty fast. Well, I drive fast.
You drive pretty fast.
He drives fast.
I drive too fast, but I like it. I want to get. I'm usually, a little late or whatever. So
You're usually late. Yeah, that's true.
So if I'm driving someplace to get someplace, and I like driving fast. I mean, if I drive fast, especially when there's not as many cars, but like if I am driving and you can just tell somebody, like I just drove back from Vegas. It's usually about a 5.5 hour drive.
20 minutes.
3.5 hours. I got back. I was cruising.
I'm dying to say something, but
What?
I don't remember the number. You fill me in. But Rob says to me, he's driving your guys' cool. Is it a Maserati?
Yeah.
And he goes, I really like this car. He goes, but man, I don't love the way it handles it. And then he says a number, a crazy speed. What do you think it was? He goes, I love it. It's a great car. I don't like the way it handles it like 110 though. I mean, it's like you
I
can't
don't know. It doesn't handle at 110 very well.
I go, yeah, fucking, it's not. You can't,
Like nothing handles one.
yeah, you can't go
No,
that fast.
no. I'm
It
sorry.
might not have been 110.
I'm sorry.
God.
A Lotus handles 110. So does a Porsche Carrera. So does a Porsche Turbo. So does a Ferrari.
Jesus, but that's a Maserati.
A
Like
Maserati. It's a family Maserati car. It's
Yes.
you gotta. If you're going straight 90, you're fine. But if you want to get somewhere,
Jesus, listen to this guy.
He really said to me.
if you want to get
I thought
somewhere,
he was joking. He goes, it's a great car, but it just doesn't handle like you would think at 110.
well, you can go,
110 miles an hour.
it's a fucking Maserati. It goes 190 if it's supposed to. That's what it says on there. If you're on a track.
Yeah, if you want to die.
No, but anyway, in Europe they drive faster, and if you start driving in Europe or Asia,
you're not in Europe.
I know.
You're in America.
But it's a European car. It's expecting it. Those cars. It's got 12 cylinders. Use them.
You know what I'm
the car won't respect you if you're just using 6 of the 12 cylinders.
That's true. It's a great
What's the
point.
matter with you, huh? It's a Maserati. You're gonna drive me or what? Are you pussy? What are you, huh?
I'm expecting you to come back home safe.
I know, yeah. I
worry about Rob. I got worried when he told me. I was like, holy shit.
You know when I got really, really worried?
What?
When you said that the Tesla drove you back home. Because
it did drive me.
It's the greatest story ever.
Doesn't do that.
What do you mean it doesn't do that?
No.
It's an auto drive.
No, there's no feature of auto drive.
This is the greatest thing ever.
Hey, listen. Yes, it is.
No, we already talked
I paid
about
$2,500.
No, you did.
I paid $25,000 or $5,000, whatever it was.
Rob came home.
I don't know. My accountant said I spent something. What?
Rob came home, claimed from a comedy club, and claimed the Tesla was amazing. That feature that drives you home.
It drove me home.
And then Patricia said it
drove
doesn't
me-
have that feature.
It doesn't have the feature.
Yes, it does have the feature.
No, it doesn't.
It has an. It's got the blue thing. The
What
blue thing.
The blue thing is like it's like an advanced cruise, but it doesn't.
It
It's not
steers for you.
if
Sorry.
if you switch your lane, but it doesn't take you home. It's like, oh, wait a minute, that's the exit I need to take. Oh yeah, we'll take it. No,
What do you
doesn't
think?
have-
What do you think a navigation system does with the driving self-driving car?
Patricia,
It's not
I
connected
don't want
one to the
I
other.
don't want to
Christ.
scare you.
Okay.
But Rob was going to the comedy club last night. He brought a pillow and a blanket.
No, this way you can check your phone and do what you need to do.
No, you should not
Jesus.
do that.
That's what I paid the extra money for. I mean, I look up once in a while. I'm not an idiot. No, but that car that's why I got it for you. So when you're on the highway, it's
Thank
usually
you.
for the highway, and you can actually put in. I want 4 car distance between me or 5
Yes.
car,
Yeah, you can
and
do
you can
that.
put distance. And it can tells you.
It's a very advanced cruise.
It doesn't. Yes, but it also steers the lane for you.
Yes, if you
Yeah.
switch lanes.
Not switch lanes. It stays in the same lane for you if you want.
Well, if you have to.
And if you have to switch lanes, it'll switch lanes for
Yes,
Dude,
exactly.
you guys, I'm not trying to brag,
But
but my
it doesn't
car.
take you to your house.
I think Patricia's right. Not to brag. My car, when you back up, if you get too close to something, it makes like a crash noise.
But anyways, we already talked about, and he still thinks that
It drove me
our
home.
car. No, it didn't.
Well,
I think you were just too tired that you don't remember how you got home, how you got back home.
all right. Well, we'll have to fix this at another time.
Yes.
All
We'll
right.
bring in,
So
we'll
anyway,
bring Elon
I'm
Musk
sorry. I mean, we
to
did bring.
explain that.
So anyway, so this episode had to do with we talked about what spiders, hippie schools, Catholic schools, war story from my mother,
Yeah.
and then the self-driving car. Was there anything else we missed?
I think that's
I think
the
that's
summary.
it, right?
Okay, let's just make sure we get
Yes.
everybody. So Patricia,
Mm-hmm.
now I love these new videos that you're doing. Where can people find them?
Oh, yeah.
On Instagram
What?
at I am Patricia Maya. Yes, I do a
Okay.
lot of cooking. I don't do.
I am I am Patricia
at
Maya.
I am Patricia Maya.
Patricia, Patricia, Maya, Maya.
Yes,
And you're doing a lot of beautiful cooking videos that
I
I
love cooking.
love, and I've been eating.
Yes,
I've been doing a lot of weight
I do the
gain.
cooking. You do the eating.
I know it's
good.
well. And what about Jamie or what is it called? Jamie Foxx now?
Jamie Foxx. That's
So-
that's the translation. I'm over there. You can find me on Tinder at Jamie Liston. I'm on Instagram at
Farmersdaughter.com. What is it?
What is the farmers one? Farmers only? Fucking, you can
Farmers.
have it. What are we trying to worm in on that? Like, I think you're safe.
You're not a farmer. You're not going out with these girls.
You got your pants.
Let me see them hands.
Your pants stop at your waist. Supposed to go on up to your shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm at I am Jamie Lissow
All right.
on Instagram and also robschneidersfriend.com on the internet.
Congrats on your gig. You're writing at CBS right now. Are you allowed to talk about that? or
Thanks,
no?
man. Yeah, writing for
What's the show
some
again?
different shows. Man with a Plan. is the
Come
main
on,
one.
Matt
Awesome.
LeBlanc,
Matt LeBlanc, who's
comedy legend, sweetheart
Awesome.
of a guy. Doesn't everybody say he's the nicest guy?
he's the nicest guy ever, and he is a great actor, man. He crushes.
He's just he had like years and years of experience on that show. He's great,
Right,
working with
yeah.
all those great funny people.
Kevin Nealon's in it.
Come on, how amazing is the amazing Kevin Nealon?
It's amazing.
Kevin Nealon. Will you tell him I said hi?
I certainly will.
All right, so we'll catch us again, and thank you for listening. Subscribe to See What Happens, because if you do, and if you listen to the great Jamie Lassonde, the incredible and hilarious Patricia Schneider, you will see what happens. That's a good ending, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well.
I like it.
I didn't have anything else. Thanks for listening. Bye.